I kid you not. I had the framework of this presentation, my opening that you just saw, and my closing. But the center of it, which you're about to experience, I put together today. Because I knew that we would have glaring examples of media malfeasance that you would immediately recognize. So let's start with number one, 60 Minutes. I hope you're not applauding 60 Minutes other than what I know you're about to see. So 60 Minutes, by the way, I think most people, and Dr. Miller, I think you'd say, like a crown jewel of the, journalism of the last 40 years, right? I mean, it's 60 Minutes. It's the prize. It's the every journalist in America, if they've made it on 60 Minutes. They even set themselves apart. I don't know if you noticed, and we'll get into this in a minute, they didn't have CBS News put out a statement about this scandal. They put out their own statement because they're above CBS News. Well, Kamala Harris sat for a 42-minute interview with 60 Minutes. The American people saw half of it. And what you're about to see on the top is an answer to a question about Benjamin Netanyahu, the Biden administration's relationship with him, and the engagement of Israel defending herself against an existential threat on their border with the Hamas terrorists trying to destroy them. Of course, I don't work for 60 Minutes, so the question wasn't framed like that. But take a look at what the actual answer to the question was.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
Well, I think that clears it up for all of us, doesn't it? I mean, it is funny, but it's also terrifying. It's just like a lot of my colleagues in talk radio call that word salad, right? Word salad. Which I get, and it's funny, but it's not fair to salad. Because, I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, salad has some nutritional value. You walk away with something, even if it's just roughage, right? To plow through the system, as my grandma used to. You need your roughage, Larry, eat that. I mean, I'm sorry, I get no cleansing from that. It's the opposite of roughage. I'm a little stopped up, So 60 Minutes released that, I guess unknowingly, or it was some intern from a school not nearly as stalwart as Hillsdale, who put that out on social media Sunday morning. This wasn't going to air until Monday night. And of course, we all saw it, and, well, we reacted the way we all just reacted. Monday night comes along, and 60 Minutes broadcasts the interview.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
So I would love to tell you that was at the end of her word salad answer that you saw. I would love to tell you that it was at some point in the interview, she said, oh, you know what, can I just rephrase that? Because I want to say it really clear so that the American people really know what I'm saying here, right? I would love to tell you that. I would love to reveal the scandal that was actually an answer to a question 5 minutes later. I'd love to be able to tell you any one of those things, but I can't. There's only a handful of people who could tell you that, and they work at 60 Minutes. And they refuse to tell you. This has been out for about 10 days now. And former employees of CBS News, including a brilliant independent investigative journalist, Cheryl Atkinson, who was so good for CBS News that they fired her, and Catherine Herridge, same thing. They both said, listen, this is outrageous. And even when I worked at CBS News, even though we had our problems, we would never do anything like that. No one I worked with would ever do anything like that. And there is a precedent for 60 Minutes and CBS News writ large to release the full transcript of the interview, if not the entire video, so that the American people can actually see. And I don't know, I mean, I understand 60 Minutes is doing a show, and they're in the business of getting ratings and selling ads. We're all in that business. It's a commercial business. But maybe it's me. I could be, you know, sort of naive. But this is a woman who wants to be president of the United States. This is one of her few one-on-one interviews. And 60 Minutes has, there's no other word for it, deceptively edited an answer to a question about our most important ally in the Middle East who is facing an existential threat in the middle of a war where her position and the president's position at this time is at the very least ambiguous. And 60 Minutes refuses to release that transcript or release the full video. And this isn't about Kamala Harris being president, it really isn't. And it's not about 60 Minutes and their journalistic ethics or integrity if they have any left. I take you back to the Constitution. This is about we, the people. This is why we need a free and uninhibited, unabridged, independent press. Because we are about to vote, and we deserve to know. And 60 Minutes and CBS News are deliberately keeping you from knowing. Now, I don't know what kind of business that is, but I don't think that's the news business.